They say that the only 100% certain thing in life is death. But, well, we all know that time flows like a river and history repeats. What's going on, everybody? It is the one and only philosophical Q here, as always, to lay the smackdown on you with some knowledge. And in this case, we're going to talk about the mighty 101. See what I did there? Badumch. Now, the reason we're talking about the wonderful 101, to use its real name, is that we all know that quite almost famously recently that they launched Platinum Games, that is, launched a Kickstarter in order to potentially fund ports of the game to PS4, PC and Switch. Now this had some lofty goals when it came to coming to certain platforms. I believe the initial goal was 50,000 to bring it to PS4, 250,000 to bring it to Steam, and something like 4 or 500,000 to bring it to Switch. Now, of course, the game did completely smash those and go on to get more and more, originally clearing out all its stretch goals, so they eventually had to add some more. But as we talked, with history repeating, it seems that companies are destined to use, abuse, and lie about Kickstarter over and over and over. Something that's quite famously happened over and over and over. Be it Mighty Number 9, Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, or even more famously, a game that will not be named. They all seem to fuck over their audience and their pledges and their backers, and the gaming community as a whole. Now, in this case, we have another situation like that, because we have the wonderful 101 from Platinum Games, and I'll probably butcher this name, Atsushi Inaba, finally talked about their Kickstarter, why they went with Kickstarter, and, well, some dodgy stuff about it. So he completely admitted that the Kickstarter had zero to do with raising funds to develop the game. We've heard this once before from that which shall not be named. It was more so to gauge interest in the project and drum up hype around it. His exact quote, well, the actual reason we decided to do a Kickstarter campaign was not for funding at all. It was more about gauging interest in the wonderful 101. This is a game we've always wanted to revisit at some point in time, so we thought it would be a good opportunity to bring the fans together, to unite them, and gauge interest, and in essence to release the game. So it wasn't about the amount of funding at all, it was about self-publishing, bringing fans together, and revisiting the wonderful 101. Now they went on to say that all the money raised through the Kickstarter would eventually be producing stretch goals and whatnot, but it had zero to do with the cost of porting the actual game to the more modern platforms. This is akin to other companies doing the exact same thing and being very shady and hiding it, despite being the biggest video game Kickstarter of all time, except when I refunded my money. So to me this is absolute bullshit, because they basically came to the gaming community. Granted, no one actually liked the wonderful 101, that's why it sold something like 8,000 copies in history. And they said, hey, if you want this game on modern platforms, you have to pay us X amount of money. $50, $250, $500,000. Now, if someone comes to you and says that they need that amount of money, or this game doesn't happen, and then after they get triple, maybe even quadruple, I haven't checked the exact number on the Kickstarter, so you can see why this is absolutely shady as fuck. And this isn't even the first time the Platinum Games have done shady as fuck stuff. But typically we're talking in this video about how Kickstarter and companies abuse it. I realise that not every company does that, although it is mostly non-video game companies that actually use Kickstarter properly. I don't think I know of one situation where a game was funded and launched through Kickstarter without any major problems. But situations like this whole thing, they really reinforce why I have resolved myself to never support another video game Kickstarter. I did it once and it bit me in the arse. I've supported one other Kickstarter, which was a non-video game one, and it was fantastic. If that company involved ever does do another one that interests me, I will gladly support it. Now, I've heard from other people out there as well that they have supported video game Kickstarters through other companies and whatnot too, and that they have a good track record and all that. I can't speak on that because I don't know the details of them. But there are some people out there that do maintain that. But again, this just goes back to maybe Platinum Games are shady and underhanded between this whole thing with Kickstarter and the wonderful 101. And we've all heard the potential rumours and all and the rumblings going on about Nier and Scalebound. Allegedly, Platinum Games took all the money from Microsoft to develop Scalebound, put a small basic skeleton crew on it, and used all the money to fund Nier, which they were also being paid for by Square Enix. All to release a mediocre, overhyped game because people are so ashamed that they're thirsty over Android booty that they're trying to make it out to be a good game and a masterpiece and blah blah blah. Just own it, you fucking cowards. Say you're horny for androids. I would respect you much more if you admitted that, instead of claiming a mediocre at best game is a masterpiece. But yeah, this is all some absolutely shady shit if you ask me. Personally, I don't think I've played a Platinum Games game that I've actually enjoyed. But Lord knows, given these situations and their history and whatnot, from now on, I won't even be attempting to try it. But where do you sit on the whole situation? Have you backed the wonderful 101? Were you one of the 7 unfortunate people that played it on the Wii U? Or will you be getting it for PS4, PC, or for some godforsaken reason Switch? No one should ever buy a multi-platform game on there. But what's the deal? Will you be getting it? Have you supported the Kickstarter? How do you feel about this whole situation? Let me know all of that in the comments section below. Hit the appropriate button, then let me know how I did on the video, and while you're at it, why not head on over and hit the subscribe button and even ring that little notification bell. Granted, getting a notification in YouTube in current year is a whole other story, but hey, at least you can say you tried, am I right? As always, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the rest of the videos in my channel.